Let me tell you the truth, you can't remember everything from a non-fiction and you don't need to. But if you want to recall a piece of information whenever you need to, or if you want to get the most out of the hours that you spend to read that non-fiction, or if you want all these informations to help you as well as others, then this video is for you. In this video, I will be sharing 5 tips that you can use to become a better non-fiction reader. That means you can remember information from your long-term memory whenever you need to. Let me organize all the 5 points for you. Till then, let me roll the intro. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Impulse Books. Myself Mitro. I am a software engineer from India and I love to share valuable stuff from books, movies, podcasts, etc. so that you can implement them and live a happy life. I have started the habit of reading books in this pandemic and I have started my journey with non-fiction books because I am obsessed with self-improvement, productivity and the philosophy of living a better life. But after reading 6 to 7 books, I have seen that nothing has changed in my life significantly. And if someone asks me to share a lesson from a book with them, I can just share the lesson from the book I am currently reading. That means all the books that I read previously maybe changed my perspective, but I could not say why or what exactly was beneficial for me. That's why I have curated some habits and also in the process of developing some other habits as well, which help me remember more of what I read. So the first level is highlight. So whenever I'm reading a non-fiction book, what I basically do is whatever I resonated a lot with me, I basically start highlighting them. So it's very helpful for me to later check whatever I have really liked about the book. So it's very useful that if you do it with a Kindle, because I have a Kindle. If you don't have one, you can use your phone obviously because Kindle has an app, so you can use it. So download a PDF maybe and open it on Kindle, whatever works for you. But highlight as much as you can. But one problem you're going to face whenever you are going to highlight, that if you haven't highlighted before, what you will feel that you are highlighting 80 to 90% of the book. I generally use pencil for highlighting, but when I started my first highlighting, I highlighted all the lessons from the book, the 10x rule. So I remember that I have highlighted almost the 75% of the book. And yeah, I am thankful that I did, because I find a lot of pieces of information that is still relevant to me, still I understand them, and it's really good. So highlight as much as possible, and later when you progress through the other level, it will be really clearer for you that what you want to highlight. Alright, let's move on to the second level. I call it Scribble. So what I basically do is every day I go through my highlights. So I don't spend more than 2 minutes on one highlight. So I just read it and whatever I feel like, I just write it there. So if you are a person who likes to draw stuff, you can obviously do it, but I'm not that kind of person. So I basically write notes. I ask myself that why I did highlight this portion. So if I can answer that, I obviously write it. If I don't, then I just ignore this part. But I highly recommend that you don't spend more than 2 minutes on a single highlight. Otherwise, the process is going to be very tedious for you. So what I basically do is I just take a short note around these highlights. So basically I do it on my book sometimes I do it on the Notion. So it's depend upon the whatever the format that I'm reading on. Some people say that you should be doing this while reading the book, but I'm not really a fan of interrupting my flow of reading. So basically what I do is I just set aside a time at my night so that I can go through all the highlights and then I can take notes on them. And I highly recommend that you do this process every day, because if you do it at the same day, you will know that why did you highlight a specific portion, and as well as there won't be any undue pressure. Once I ignored taking notes on my highlights for 2 days and later procrastinated, and I have like 5 days of highlights to take notes on. So eventually I did not take any notes on that book, and that book is unfortunately The Alchemist that you are seeing right now on the screen. Yeah, don't feel bad. Let's move on to the level 3. I call it Reflect. So immediately I complete reading a book, I go to my Notion template. A portion of that template is inspired by Ali Abdaal, but I simplified it further to suit my needs. So I address these 3 things in my template: the book in 3 sentences, how the book changed me, and just in case. When I sit down to write only 3 sentences to describe a book, it really makes me understand how I think about the book. Then I answer the question, how the book changed me, where I sort of reflecting on what problem it solved in my life. Was there any concept that changed my perspective, or maybe something from the book which I will take action on? Recently, I'm reading the book The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, where he said that we don't want millions in our bank account. What we actually want is to live the lifestyle of a millionaire. So that concept certainly changed my perspective towards money and lifestyle. It's definitely going to this part. But he also talks about hiring virtual assistants to delegate some tasks which takes a lot of your time, so you can focus on work which generates revenue for your business. That information was really helpful, but certainly I'm not hiring VA this year. I'll definitely do this next year. So for this kind of stuff, I created this just in case section. Anything that resonates with me or blows my mind, but I am not sure that whether it will go where this information will go, I just write it on this column and just in case. So that practice takes half an hour or so, but it lays the sort of foundation for the next level which I call is summarize. Summarizing a book is the best thing that you can do. And let me tell you one thing, you don't need to summarize all the books, because summarization takes a lot of time, because you need to put your own words into the paper, or if you are using a digital software. But the thing is that you need to summarize some books which resonated a lot with you. So whenever I basically start summarizing a book, I open a new doc on the Google Doc, but I totally get discouraged by seeing the blank page. So what I basically do is I just take all my notes that I taken on the highlights, I copy and paste it there, and also I take the reflection part that is completed on the Notion, I also copy and paste this over there. Then I try to think about the summary of the book. I go through all the chapters. Then because I have a sort of foundation to write the summary, that really helps a lot. So previously what I used to do is basically I just used to copy and paste all the things, all the good quotes and everything that is there on the book. I just copy pasted then everything, and I used to feel that okay, that is the summary of the book. It's not. So when you're summarizing a book, that should be your summary, because if you're just copying and pasting stuff from the book and you're calling it a book summary, it's not, my friend. You need to put your own thoughts, whatever you are thinking, because your summary needs to have a certain kind of differentiation from the other person who is writing the summary. That makes the summary really fun. Because see, if you're reading a book summary, you are basically reading a person's mind. So how the person is perceiving the book. So it's really important that you write your summary on your own words, and writing summary obviously takes some time. So I did it with a few hand-picked books, I would say. But yeah, that really is helpful, because it will deepen the understanding of your of the book that you read. So I just took summary for the book Atomic Habits, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F, Ikigai, and some books that really resonated a lot with me. So I'm really happy that I did it. Alright, so if you are in this part, you are already doing amazing. But the last part is a bit advanced. I call it the matrix. At this level where the fun begins, I see my thoughts are getting connected. I use a software called Obsidian, where I basically take notes. Well, I do have a sort of systems and weekly review in place which helps me to collect everything in Obsidian. If you want a detailed video of that process, let me know in the comment below. So suppose I'm reading something today, that thing resonated a lot with me. So without any thinking, I just write it on my Obsidian app, and then I create sort of links to the other related notes. Here the fun begins. When I open this map, you can see which of my thoughts are connected to which. After the book summary or doing the summary, if I want to expand on some topic, I basically write it here. Some people call it literature notes, but I call it nothing. So when I am reading the book Start With Why, I can link my thoughts with some other books knowledge like Man's Search for Meaning or a 4-Hour Work Week, which is totally unrelated. And I can see that my thoughts and feel more original and unique to me. I won't be saying that I'm a pro at this. I'm still working on this process, and trust me, I do this with a few hand-picked non-fiction books which I really loved. I don't take any pressure for this. So let's summarize. If you're not highlighting your books, that book does not belong to you. Start highlighting from today. Scribble around those highlights. Ask yourself that why did you highlight them? Write them down. After completing the book, reflect on it. Write down your thoughts, and you can use the Notion template that I have provided the link on the description of this video. Then if you like the book, go ahead and summarize the book in your own words. Start taking notes on your thoughts and also link them with other books or knowledge or podcasts or whatever you listen to. So it will really create a kind of wave of knowledge that you have, and it's really helpful. This tips will work if you're reading a physical book or Kindle, but if you are an audiobook listener, you should definitely watch this video so you can combine this video with the current video that you are watching right now, and you can create a better system and you can become a better audiobook listener as well. So I hope this video was helpful. Watch this video. Till then, take care and keep reading. Bye bye.